Hey, I'm super excited to walk you through 3 software tools that I'm no longer gatekeeping. 2 of them is going to help you when it comes to Reddit. So I'm super excited for that. And one of them is going to show you basically how to find posts to comment on and create meaningful engagement. Another one's going to basically tell you how to turn your content into infographics automatically. How fucking cool is that? And the last one's going to help you when it comes to distributing your content. And I'm so excited to walk you through this. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tina. I help knowledge creators like you automate your business so you can avoid burnout and truly just focus on your zone of genius. Stay tuned. So I have these 3 tools. Now you could definitely just type them up and leave, but I think I really want to walk you through how I'm using it and how I'm thinking about it. So my personal channels that I'm really spending a lot of time on. Now I can have automations distribute to all the platforms, which I am doing. Definitely a content distribution automation at play here. But when I think about the channels that I really want to grow on, crack, and figure out, I'm really thinking about LinkedIn and Reddit. Why? Because I feel like LinkedIn has my people, which is knowledge creators. So if you're a digital product creator, course creator, coach, consultant, anything like that, definitely follow the channel and stay tuned. But the other side is Reddit is a really interesting place because there is the opportunity for long-term SEO in terms of when you just look at Google and you're typing stuff up, more likely than not, Reddit posts are starting to become, showing up in the Google rank, and I want my content to last longer, right? And so I'm thinking about the channels or the tools that are going to help me really accomplish that goal. And I've really came across 3 that I'm exploring and that I'm super excited to walk through. So the first one, hands down, I was blown away by this. Let's go ahead and see how it works. So I want to show you, let's fix me. So I really want to show you this one tool called Napkin AI. I really have been enjoying this so much. So I think, what does it do? What do I do? Basically, what I do is I actually take a content piece. We'll just show a live example right here, and I create something called a napkin. So we're going to just take this content piece that I have as an example. And so we have this content right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select new, draft with AI, drop it in there. Once it's all good to go, press continue, and then it's creating a napkin. And basically what it's doing is just taking the content that I'm already having all here. So that's pretty cool. And then essentially what I want to do, or I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and select all of this, right? And then I want to click this little button right here. It's going to scan the content that you hear, say that you're writing. And then as you can see here, you can see that the content piece and infographic is in the making and in the works. So I really like this because they have many different styles on how you can really, create infographics. And that's just so freaking cool. Now, if you want to take it a step further where, you can actually edit it and stuff like that, there's definitely that option. So, you could definitely, choose the styles that you have here and how you want it to look like. You can, change the text or things like that. But I just think it's a really cool tool when you are thinking about, creating infographics and stuff like that. So what I usually do from there, you can feel free to tweak it. If you want a specific graphic for a specific area, definitely feel free to clue in that area. But if this is good, you just click this little export button. And then what's also pretty cool is that they have this color dark mode. Really like this. And then you just download. Now, another example that I have here is basically, I'll show you an example of how we're doing this. Is I just take that. I take the graphic, and let me show you a live example right here. Okay, this one should be good. Let's see. So I made an oopsie and forgot to actually upload it, but we have it here. And so this is an example of a dark option that we have here, which is really cool. Now with my content distribution channel, what's going to happen is that when it's ready to actually show up on LinkedIn, it's not only going to take the content that I have here, but it's also going to take this image as part of the social post. So I really want you to think from this perspective of you can create your content in what we call our newsletter database, which is everything you see here is in the newsletter. If you haven't joined the newsletter, definitely join the newsletter. And then basically what you could do is that you could create the actual infographic that you see here. And then with this tool, Napkin AI, and then you can actually just upload it. And then if you decide to use our content distribution automations that we teach in Leverage Creator, we will walk you basically how to do this, how to take this content and upload it automatically without you having to do anything. Literally, for me, all I do is just create the content and then let content automations take care of everything else. So I'm super excited to get into that. The second tool, this one was quite interesting and I'm still exploring it, so I can't like fully validate it, but I think it's definitely important to walk you through it. So for me, what I'm trying to do is not only, grow my newsletter, but I want to grow my newsletter with the right people. And so I'm trying to leverage Reddit as a place for me to find the right people and a great place for me to actually like connect with those people. And so what I'm doing is I'm using a tool called Subreddit Signals. And so you'll go through this process where it will ask you, more information about your product. I think this is going to work really well for like physical products, but then it's going to ask you, more details so that it can find connections for you to engage on. Now, I'm on a free trial because I really want to test this tool. And I'm super excited to do so. But one of the things that I come across when it comes to Reddit is like, it's just sometimes can be very overwhelming. I don't know what to comment on. And so what I like about subreddit signals is all you have to do is just type in your product and it will actually do the work of finding the right post for you to comment on. And so I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, I think it does need a little bit more fine tuning, but I think it's a really great opportunity for you to do that. So, you know, this is right here. I talk a lot about automation and content distribution. And so this is an opportunity where I can actually just go directly in here and type my comment. So that's pretty cool. Now, one cool thing is that when you are joining the subreddit signals, give it about a day or two. I give it about 2 days for it to really like scan Reddit and find all the posts that I need. But really, it's an awesome tool where you could just, once when it's good to go, you just comment and you are showing up in the comments that actually matter and in the areas that actually matter to you. So let's go and keep going. Now, this is kind of an interesting tool. And what I like about this is called Postpone. This was interesting to me. I cannot remember how I found it. I'm pretty sure I found it through like the Zapier integrations tab area. And if you haven't looked at Zapier integrations and you're trying to figure out a place for you to like find, does it integrate with Zapier? One of my requirements with software is that if it does not integrate with Zapier, sorry folks, I just don't invest in a tool because I'm so heavily into automations. But what I really like about Postpone is that it's basically like a social media scheduler, not only to all the platforms, even the platforms that you feel like you can't have a direct integration with in Zapier, like TikTok or Threads as an example, you use Postpone to be the intermediary. And it is so freaking easy and super cool to work with. And what I like about this is that it's really like, I feel like the core focus of it is focusing a lot on subreddit and like you can focus on other channels. But it will actually help you find like subreddits for you to search in. And like if you wanted to like search a specific keyword or anything like that, it will give you the relevant subreddits that you can find. And so obviously, there's different areas where you can like analyze a redditor, create content and all like subreddit discovery, which is pretty awesome. Like if I wanted to find a subreddit that's going to be really helpful for me, I just go into this area right here. Now, what I also really like is kind of like just this visual piece, which I think is really nice. So let me kind of just show you a little bit of my calendar. I actually do not take the time to like upload this stuff into, here. This is why I love Postpone, is because that it integrates directly with Zapier. So I want you to think about it from a perspective of like when my content goes live, right? Like I just literally like my responsibility is just to create the content, right? Once when I'm like, okay, the status of this thing is done, and I'm like, okay, cool, the status is done. I don't have to worry about anything. Literally, like I have an automation on the back end that takes this content and uploads it and connects it to Postpone via Zapier and goes ahead and posts it to all the different channels, inclusive of Reddit. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why not use just the Reddit integration with Zapier or Make? Well, the reason why I like this one more than just the Reddit integration is that this allows you to not only like share your content across not only one Reddit but 3 Reddits within one action, but it also has some like filters in the sense of like sometimes your post may not go well with like the moderation rules. And sometimes if you're busy and you don't have the time to look through all the moderation rules, that could be a little bit of a challenge, right? And so what I like about this Postpone app is that it does that for you, and it will tell you and say, hey, like this post probably won't get good on Reddit, so you're less likely to get banned, which is really amazing. So yeah, like these are the channels that I'm just like, I'm really focusing on Reddit. I'm really focusing on areas that I can grow in. And then Threads is just something where it's like, ooh, like I don't see a direct integration like I want to use Postpone to do that. So maybe something will come from that. I'm not sure. But the whole point of it is that like I want to create content once and I want to leverage tools like Napkin in order for me to create content and infographics so that it really like shares the story what I'm trying to explain. I want to figure out and look at Reddit in terms of like where are the areas that I could create meaningful engagement so that my time is leveraged better. And then I want to basically distribute my content to the channels that I don't have direct integrations with in Zapier. And Postpone actually makes that really easy for me. So, yeah, no longer gatekeeping tools. If you're looking for opportunities to know not only the tools that I'm using for situations like this, but you want to have access to all the automations, my library, and of all that content and stuff like that, and then like the tools that I recommend to do that. A, comment tools on this post wherever it lands, but B, definitely feel free to join the newsletter because that's what we're going to be talking about. We talk about tools, we talk about software, we talk about automation tips, all the strategies for you basically to automate the business so that you can avoid burnout and stay in your zone of genius. So that's all I have. It's no longer gatekeeped. I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment and do all those things. Thank you. Bye.